All right, welcome back, everybody. Live afternoon drive back in the studio. Boy, do we love this. And one of my favorite guests on hand, a return guest. I don't even know how many times this is for him now, but over the years, he's become a great friend of the show. EJ Ouellette is in the house. How are you, EJ?
Drew, I am well, thank you.
It's nice to see you in person, my man.
You too, brother.
Isn't it
yes.
nice? Oh, God. Well, we're still battling through this pandemic, of course, but hope everybody's doing well. I know that the new virus here, the Omicron variant, has arrived in Massachusetts, so stay healthy and be
waiting
smart.
for the Omicron.
Oh, man.
Waiting for the Omicron.
He's a songwriter who's always writing songs, right? Did you see the Beatles thing yet?
Not yet. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either, actually.
Yeah.
But I've seen like bits and pieces, and I tend to be late to these things, but I love the idea of it.
I'm jumping through hoops right now, so.
You're a busy man. Let's talk about that a little bit. First of all, congratulations are in order. So another honor from the Grammys. You are. Tell us about it. This is huge.
Well, thank you very much. I was involved with a collaborative approach to a song by an artist named Linda Cherney.
Who's great.
Right? She's awesome.
Jersey girl, right?
Jersey girl.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Original.
Down there, but she's out in Arizona now.
Yeah.
And she reached out to me in March, and my studio became the master mothership of the production. There's three producers. One is Trevor Sewell and myself.
Yep.
And Linda, of course, was a co-producer as well. We got tracks. She approached me with the song in March and sent me a demo, and Dave Maddox, who I use in my studio all the time. Drummer, yep, he's was Paul McCartney's guy, and he's been around with a lot of famous artists.
If I was him, I'd just throw that around all the time, I think.
He's very humble. He
does, Paul McCartney's guy.
He doesn't really do that, so I have to be careful not to push him too hard. But you can look him up, Dave Maddox, on Wikipedia, and then you'll get the whole thing.
There you go.
So, but he's been my studio drummer and mentor, my maestro, pretty much with the work that I've been doing over the past 7 years. And he's transformed the way that I also work in my studio. So I brought Dave in, and he invested his tracks on board. It's something.
Board is the name of the song, by the way.
Board is the name of the song,
yep.
yeah. And he invested his tracks, and so Linda sent us a demo with a click, and we proceeded to arrange it.
Wow.
And then we sent that out to Linda. She recorded her tracks out there, and Trevor flew his tracks in with a lot of his advice from the UK, and sent them to me, and we downloaded them. And also we had other artists fly in their tracks. A woman named Becca Byram. I don't know her personally, but she's from the UK as well, and she lives in Vermont now, I think. And also a nominated artist, Jeff Oster, wow, who was in a nominated project called Brothers, and there was a studio guy around here. His name was Thomas Eaton, wow, and he's on the album, as well as Will. I should know this. Wyndham Hill guy. So they're up for a nomination for best. I was on the ballot this morning.
We need the
the
Grammy.
I have it a little bit.
What is it like when you hear that news? You probably get some sort of there's probably some buzz that you might get in the mix, but like, what's it like when you get the official word?
We didn't get an official word. I had a song myself submitted. It was called Munjoy Hill, and my featured artist in it was Tomiko Dixon. And do you know Tomiko?
You have told me about Tomiko. I don't.
Tomiko is Willie Dixon's granddaughter.
Oh, okay.
She's the granddaughter of the blues.
All right.
And she agreed to do this song with me. I wrote it about the Underground Railroad up in Maine at a place called Munjoy Hill. And she woke me up one night and she says, I have to do this song with you, EJ. I just feel it in my blood. She's out in Chicago. Or Memphis or someplace. She's got 3 places. She bounces around.
I remember talking to you as you were writing this or releasing it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So anyway, I was looking for an Irish tune or a French tune to play my fiddle to, but I saw this song and I had to write the song called Munjoy Hill. And so anyway, I submitted that, and then Linda into Best American Roots. And Linda submitted a board into Best American Roots, and it was interesting. We were sort of competing against each other, and I was involved in both projects. But however,
it's okay.
It's okay. It's it's great. Munjoy Hill did really, really well. We've got thousands of streams during the voting process.
Played in my kitchen over dinner just the other night.
Did you really? Nice. Thank you.
Pulled it up for Sarah.
So Tomiko's awesome. I was on the phone with her this morning. She just got a deal with Alligator Records. She's going to be the new blues diva, and she played me her new cut, and I was very excited about that. And she's a good partner, and we have a project next year too. So we produced up board. We submitted it, and Linda submitted it into Best American Roots Song, and so we're watching the virtual announcements, and neither song came up on the virtual announcements.
Sad.
Yeah, and we were like, she was quite devastated. Me, I take it with a grain of salt. I had five submissions out of Whole Music Studio in the Grammys, and I was involved with 3 others that were more remote collaborations. So I was involved in 8 submissions. So it just feels good to be around that. That the Academy.
You don't need the payoff.
I don't need the payoff.
Yeah, but you like it.
I get paid to do what I do. But that's my payoff. I am a professional.
Well said.
So anyway, so it didn't show up, and I know Linda was struggling with that, but and then she got a tweet or a Google alert and said that she was on the list.
Yeah, like some newspapers had her on.
A lot of newspapers. In other words, what the Grammys did is they put out the final list the Friday before the online virtual meetup to announce the nominees. And she thought someone was playing a joke because she was nominated in 2010 or 11, and she got attacked by a lot of people because she was nominated in American Roots. And she actually did a movie about it, and I brought it to the Firehouse Theater.
It's a great movie, actually.
It is. It's really cool. And, but she did get a lot of blowback from being in.
What is that, by the way? Like, is it because of the category, or is it like I heard some people just saying? I think Linda maybe feels that it's because not as well known of an artist, and there are bigger names. Like, that's not the deal, right?
We thought it was the Americana Association attacking her again, because they did originally.
Is that what it was over? Because they thought bigger artists should have been there
before.
That's not what it's supposed to be all about, right?
No, it isn't. It isn't supposed to. And the rules, the Academy rules have changed this year. So some for the good, some for not for the so good.
Do a whole show on that.
Yeah, that's a whole deal, So anyway, so she got kind of upset about that and said, "What's up with that?" And she calls me. She was texting me and calling me for the past 8 months daily about this song and strategizing it. And then we went into strategy on this. And so she was quite upset and apparently not sleeping and everything. So, I tried to counsel her a little bit on this. I said, let's look into this. And, she felt attacked. So she wanted war. And I said, no, let's not do that. Let's reach out to the CEO, Harvey, and Harvey Mason Jr. So, after a little bit of talking, we created a message for Harvey. And she reached out to him, and he got back to her, but it was on Thanksgiving weekend, right after the announcements, and he was with his family and the whole deal, and then set her up for stress over the next few days. So anyway, what had happened, Harvey looked into it on a personal level, so he's keeping his integrity with this because the Academy has been rocked with bad stuff over the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. And it felt good to see him respond to an indie artist because, as we know, they got rid of the nominating committees, but the nominating committees still are the major labels. Right. And we indies are now becoming a wonderful, I'm not going to say force, but a wonderful, a major label in some, because we're all doing our own music, and we have to produce our own music. We have to pay for it. We have to, we write it, produce it, and promote it. And, it's very costly to do all this. So we're in charge of our own stuff. Whereas the labels, they go into high-end studios and, They have people paying them to do it, and of course they get on Spotify and get the billions of streams.
All right, you took me to that for 1 second because I do want to hit on. Did you just walk me right into it? Everybody has their 2021 Wrapped thing. I don't know if you've even heard about this, but for Spotify, it's pretty much what you listen to. They have all their algorithms. They put it all together, and they serve it. This is like a big thing at the end of every year now. I know you feel very strongly about Spotify, and these Wrapped things. You end up posting them, and everybody sees them. These are my top artists, and I've seen all sorts of debates, I think because I'm in a lot of music circles, about people, saying, that's great, you're taking money from the artist, though. And then it starts these debates of, well, people would never hear me if I wasn't on Spotify. And it's crazy, man. I have heard very passionate arguments on both sides. I think I know where I fall. I'll keep it to myself for now. But the Spotify thing, there's a lot to unpack.
There is. So what has happened is that there are a lot of non-professionals that got in the academy, and apparently they got expelled. So, I'm a full-time musician and producer and engineer. I mostly produce. I don't just record people. I produce. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for full-time professionals that have credibility and all that. And they did. They let go of like thousands and thousands.
Not to mention one of the best players around. We should mention
thank you. I'm pushing a lot of buttons right now. I'm not practicing much.
Did you even need to? I mean, you're at the point. I think you're just so gifted at how many instruments? We've talked about that before.
I really don't know. About 10 or 12.
You can play pretty much everything.
Well, I wouldn't call myself a master of every one, but I am a jack of all music, strings, instruments, and all that. But I'm really working on my singing now, and my songwriting, and I'm an instrumentalist. So
will you ever stop learning crafting?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, it's constant, and I'm learning the ropes in the academy right now, and
playing sounds more fun.
Definitely. I've been on my phone for 3 weeks.
Give me one more 30 seconds on the Spotify thing, though, because I know it is an interesting topic for people, and I just want people to know because so many people do have Spotify. It's effective nature.
That's correct.
I want to know, hear from a musician who's
electronic nature.
Yeah.
I am a Massachusetts Recording Academy delegate. So we reach out to our lawmakers here to try to get fair pay for play. It's a great way to get noticed, but if you don't have 1 billion streams, you're not going to make a lot of money. I'm in folk music, so there's hundreds of dollars to be made in folk music. But I think eventually it's going to turn around. And the way I feel about this, I've been working with having discussions with software developers that we should all be streaming from our own sites. And we've got a little plan happening with that. So that way we get, people buy into one big site, but we do it from our own site. And that way we get direct cash flow as a result of that.
Because I do think people don't notice. I use this example a lot just because maybe it was the first one that I saw, but Nils Lofgren, who's part of Springsteen's E Street Band, he's been with Neil Young, had a big solo career, but kind of like in that, not quite huge, but big, very well known. He showed the amount of money he made from Spotify with one of his checks, and it was like $9.80.
Yes.
And I was like, Nils Lofgren? Like, that's
Yes.
what he's bringing in from Spotify? What is the person that's tiers and much less well known than him making?
Well, that's what's going on, But to be honest, prior to digital distribution or MP3s, musicians only made money. Not many musicians performed. They had to sell their wares if they weren't involved with the label.
Yep.
So it kind of like back to square one for a lot of non-established artists. So unless you have a record deal, you're not going to make a lot of money. Me, when I was with Crazy Maggie, and I could still sell CDs if I go out and perform. So
people still buy CDs.
People still buy CDs. I just bought a brand new 24 hybrid.
Yep.
People plug still in, and I had a CD player in it, and I was happy.
Yeah, you go. That's the one problem is the cars aren't being made with them now, right?
Well, mine is.
Well, yeah.
I didn't ask for it. So I'm hoping that this changes.
And records. People are buying records.
People are buying records. My next album will be on CD, and it'll be on records. I'm going to hold it back from Spotify.
Yeah.
In
tough decision,
places.
Right?
Well, I think absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Ooh, look at you.
So, I probably will not go. I'll put a single out there and bring it to my site. And, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So I will try anything to make a buck as a musician.
What would you tell the person? Because like I said, just this week with that whole end of year thing, I'm seeing a lot of those debates happen. What would you say to the person that gives you that argument? People would not have heard my music otherwise. I feel like I'm reaching people this way. What would you say to that young artist?
I would say to them, well, if you want to get exposure, then you have to spend a lot of money getting exposure on Spotify. I mean, for you to just have your friends show up and it makes you think like you're a star, unless you're gigging and performing, then I would think that, it's a vanity project.
And your biggest problem is the money doesn't go to the artist.
That's correct. It's going to Eek, whatever his name is.
All right, very good. I won't steal the whole show here with the Spotify, but I've always thought you were very well thought out on it, so I do like having...
Yeah, my next album's not going on Spotify.
All right.
It's Regional Roots. So
there you go. I like that. All right, cool. Again, we're joined here by EJ Ouellette. So back to the Grammys here. So you got Linda. One thing I love seeing these videos. Did you see this? She posted
yes.
telling her, is that her father?
Her dad, on this.
And her dad, I think, was sad for her and probably knew she was struggling with that. And went in and told her that she got it, and we had tears, and that's great.
Yeah. She went through a lot when she had that issue back in 2011. She got hammered by a lot of people, and I think this stress brought her into this again.
Tough business, man.
Well, I don't look at it as tough. I look at it as a challenge. So a lot of people say it's a hard business. And a hard business is being a plumber. But it's still a challenge. But I always tell my students that it's not hard; it's a challenge. So that it puts you on the positive side of developing whatever you want to develop and pushing what you want. Now, it's a challenge today. So what happened is that we reached out to Harvey. Linda reached out personally with my coaching and my wonderful partner Lisa O'Donnell, and. We basically approach it as you get more with honey than you do with salt. So Harvey got back to her eventually, and then he got her back on the list. And what had happened was an old school trustee from Delaware, who handles all the ballots. I'm not sure exactly who it was, but I think it was a trustee.
Ballot troubles in this country.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the folks that handled Delaware, they handled the whole voting ballot thing.
It's the same.
They pulled her.
Oh, wow.
After the list went out to the media. So it gives her another story in another movie.
It's a good story, yeah. I know. And she said it had something to do with her being flagged from her name just came up from that 10 years ago.
That's right. Yeah. But, it's the business, and we deal with a lot of narcissists in this business.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful, Well,
good for you guys. You made it happen.
Yeah, we did. So I'm proud of this effort. So now we're promoting in any way that we can. We have our hands tied with the way that we promote, so we have to be careful.
When you're a business, when you're looking at it from a business perspective, what does that title do? I know for a lot of musicians, you always hear like, I would have loved the album with or without the Grammy nomination, but... So
just to be clear, as a producer on the record, co-producer on the record, as a featured artist on the record, as the engineer of the record, as the mixer of the record, and the project coming in and originating and out of my studio, I'm not... I don't get a nomination. The song that I'm co-produced gets the nomination. So it's a little bit different. I may get a certificate. It depends on if the artist, if we get that.
We'll call it semantics. You had a big role in this song. Very good.
So.
Yeah, you were the party host for this thing, too. It all went down in your studio. Well,
it did.
Well, globally, too. I like that angle, too. You got friends across the pond.
I've got people I'm working with all over the planet now.
It's a new world this way, isn't it?
And Trevor is out there waiting to talk to us.
Oh, that's right. Yes. You want to bring Trevor in? Yeah, absolutely.
Hold on 1 second. I'll give him a call.
We're going to literally do this the dial-up way. This is good. Again, we're joined by EJ Ouellette. I helped produce Linda Chorney's board here that just got that, you probably saw it in the news, Grammy nomination.
Comes through.
Introduce him here. Now, who are you calling?
Trevor Sewell from the UK. There he is. Are you there, Trev?
I couldn't find my bloody phone. It was making a noise, but I didn't know where it was.
Trevor, welcome to Joppa Radio, Afternoon Drive with Drew Moholland. How are you?
absolutely fine. How's yourself?
We're doing fantastic. Where are you coming to us from?
I'm coming to you from Sunderland, which is in the northeast of England, about 70 miles south of the Scottish border.
It sounds rainy, am I right?
It's very rainy, yeah. It always is.
It's rainy here today too. I think we share the same.
We've been talking about your work with EJ here, and what a crazy, fun, and really great year it has been for you guys.
Yeah, it's been great. You're breaking up a little bit, so if I sound a bit slow at this end, and I keep asking you,
you actually sound unbelievably clear. I'm very pleased with how this is working out. So keep shooting.
Okay. Right. What we'll do?
Talk about the year working with EJ and roller coaster in a pandemic and all the success here.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, me and EJ have been working on a few different things, but this one, the Linda Choney one with Board it's just been really great fun to do because, like, obviously, you know, it's been done mainly at EJ's studio across there, and I've been like sending guitar tracks backwards and forwards and things, and it's worked out really well. It was a really nice surprise when we got the Grammy nomination.
Yeah, in kind of a dramatic way, too. No shortage of drama in the music industry.
Oh, tell us about the drama, yes. It's like having your very own soap opera right in your room, you know, but you're also part of it, you know.
Right in your
it's
hand.
Like, I just don't know what's coming next, you know. It's like the next episode. We'll be on Netflix soon, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can just go to Netflix instead of a movie this time. That's fantastic. I want you to speak about these two people, one Linda and one EJ. What do they bring to the table that makes them so energetic, so great to work with?
Well, I mean, I've known them. I've actually played live with both of them in different states across in the US. You know, I met Linda quite a few years ago when I first joined the Grammys, and you know, we sort of made friends, and she sang on one of my albums, and I played on her album and things. And then when we're in New York, I got because I played with Linda in Los Angeles when I had an album launch out there. But when we came to New York, it was great because I finally got to meet AJ in person, and we played it. I think it was 54 Below together in New York.
Feinstein's,
which was great, you know.
Feinstein's, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, are you still there?
Yep.
Yep, we're here.
Oh, sorry, you keep on cutting out. Am I cutting out you?
No, we still got you. You're good.
Oh, great, brilliant.
You're good.
That makes a change.
Yeah.
What's it like playing with EJ? Because we were just talking about, he literally does not know how many instruments he plays. We just had this discussion. He plays everything.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how many I play, but that's because I'm not very good at counting. AJ is because he's got lots of instruments and he knows how to play them all. You know, it's like the amount of times I've tried to blow at the end of that violin and I cannot make it work properly.
It's a demanding mistress.
So, I mean, you guys both.
AJ's amazing. It's like, you know, you can give him anything. You give him a bit of an old bike or something like that, and you get a tune out of it.
I know. As a guy who bangs away on that 6-string acoustic guitar, he frustrates the hell out of me. But you guys. So I mean, we all know. I'll let you end with this one and get back to your day across the pond. But what is it? You guys probably both know that there's chemistry is such a big thing in the music world, and if it doesn't work out right, it just doesn't work. So obviously something works here with you guys. What worked out so well with this pairing, this group?
Well, I think it's just them doing it for the sake of the song.
Right.
You know, so you play for the sake of the song rather than thinking, what can I put on that will sort of stand out? You know, everybody's doing it for the general good of the project. And I think when people are involved like that, then it just happens much more naturally, I think. And I mean, the stuff what I've been doing with AJ as well on his own stuff is the same things. It's like it just feels right, you know.
I hear you. Well, it felt so right that we now have ourselves a Grammy nominee. How about that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, EJ. You want to jump in?
I just wanted to mention Trevor has a fabulous album, Calling Nashville. Nashville Calling.
The latest one's called I Spies.
Oh, I Spies. That's right, too. It's an instrumental album, and it was beautiful, and he got my support on that.
Wow.
Oh, it's great. And prior to that, you did an album with Janice Ian, correct?
That's right, yeah. Well, it was. I did an album in Nashville, and it was great because Janice was a guest on some tracks. She came in because I met her at the Hollow launch in LA as well, and she offered to play on my album. But finished it did a duet as well, which is great. It's one of my favorite tracks of mine actually. But she played piano on a load of other stuff and did some backing vocals on other things. But the duet we did was called Fade to Grey.
Yep.
But yeah, working in Nashville was great. I think you've been at Sound Emporium before, haven't you, EJ?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I mean, I love that studio. And we also had Pacey Nelson as well from Mother Earth to come down to do a duet as well. So it was a really good time. Produced by Jeff Wilborn. It was just a great time. Janice is lovely, and she's a fantastic piano player. Apart from being a great songwriter, singer. Oh God, I'm an acoustic guitarist.
Oh yeah,
That's good.
She's brilliant. Yeah,
Both,
so that was a lovely time.
Both your albums, I Spy and that one, are brilliant, Trevor.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
That's the holiday spirit right there.
And I'm very excited to have you on my album. Get you over here when we do our little road tour here. So,
Trevor, where can people find your music?
And I'm halfway through my album, my new album now as well. So I'm hoping that I can maybe entice you onto mine as well.
absolutely.
Well, business deals being made right now.
Yes, we are.
Trevor, where can people find your music real quickly?
To find the music, it's just pretty much everywhere online,
Yep.
Amazon, iTunes, all,
Give it the
all
Google.
those places, Apple Music,
Sounds good.
else it appears, I cannot remember now.
All right, well, Trevor, this was good to meet you on the phone here. I look forward to seeing you and EJ on stage somewhere and playing some fantastic live music. Let's make that happen. What do you say someday?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I think we're all in agreement, so I would love to do that again.
Who is the soccer team of choice where you are?
Oh, I just missed you there. You just
Who-
completely broke up.
Who is the football club of choice where you are?
Oh, right. Really interesting. This is, talking about drama in my life. It's like with the Grammys drama, we have another drama here as well because our club, Newcastle United, which are like pretty much bottom of the Premiership at the moment, have just been taken over by Saudi Arabia, and apparently now we're the richest club in the world. We're still bottom of the Premiership, We won our first game, the 15th game of the season. We got our first win the other day, 1-0, and it was like, blimey, it's like I was scared to listen because as soon as I put the TV on, if they're on television, immediately I do that, the other team scored a goal. So I was really beginning to think it was completely my fault, but I did win the other day.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, Newcastle United, yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor, thanks for joining us here in Newburyport, man. Congrats on all the success, and look forward to meeting you down the line, all right?
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me on. It's been great, and always a pleasure to be on with EJ.
Yeah.
See you soon, Trevor. Thanks for coming in.
Catch you in a bit, mate.
Take care, man.
Ta-ra now.
Bye-bye.
Catch you in a bit, mate. What a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
How did that all start with you guys?
Just
Go way back.
social media,
Yeah.
and we belong to this thing called the Indie Collaborative, which is around New York City. And we just ended up liking each other, and
Yeah.
we played. He played with me in 2018 when we were at the Grammys at a place called Feinstein, and he backed me up on a song, on my Conjure Man song,
Yeah,
Tore
yeah.
the House Apart. And we looked at each other and went, "Oh, okay,
That is
good."
that's a great song, by the way.
Thank you.
And a cool video too.
Thank you.
That's all you, right? You did all the video?
yeah,
of
pretty
course.
much. Yeah.
Why? Of course it was.
I should finish the story about Linda.
Yes.
So anyway, they put her on the list at the last week. We were a week off from pushing it, but Harvey got it back on, and usually there's only five nominees on it, but he made room for
So now there's a
6.
sixth.
And we're up. I don't like using the word against. So we're up with John Baptiste, Valerie June, and Rhiannon Giddens. too.
Wow.
So the royalty.
You're all kind of winners at this point, though, right?
Well, I think so. I don't do things for rewards. My reward is producing music.
Yeah.
And playing music and teaching it, and that's my reward. And I've been very, very fortunate to have a wide base to draw on. And when COVID came in, I put everything online, and it expanded my base.
Yeah.
So I'm producing records with people all over the planet, pretty much recordings. I got to go back and do a track for a woman in New York City, a fiddle track. It's a Cajun tune.
Wow.
She's from New Orleans originally.
So you've been busier than ever during this pandemic.
I have been more busy than anything. So I'm really grateful for that.
That ability to, and I don't know if people have seen it online. I know it was one of the first things you showed me when we entered the pandemic, but you showed me how you've been teaching guitar, for instance,
Yep.
Just to people all over. I don't know how far your lessons go, but
I've got people out in the West Coast, in mid states, outside the hood, 50, 60 miles up north,
And this isn't like his cell phone is turned around at him. This, you got different camera shots and zoomed in on the hands.
Oh yeah, the same thing.
Yeah.
What I'm doing now is actually I'm designing and helping people. I'm designing studios for people to build their own studios so they don't drive their family out of the house.
Do you sleep?
Yes, I sleep 8 hours a night.
Do you get 8?
And all I do is ask the universe, give me 8 hours, and I don't need anything else.
8 hours yoga music.
That's it.
Yeah.
I slept 8.5 hours last night, and that's all I need.
Because you're just wired that way. You're always looking for the next thing, the new project, right?
Well, I wish I have to spend more time on my own music, but I'm producing a couple artists here right in Newburyport. Richard Bostick.
Yeah.
He's got a great record happening in my studio. And I set him up with a studio here. He's got a home here in Newburyport when COVID came in. And he's got some great songs, and I'm producing it, bringing people in to do it. And there's another one I did with that I submitted, which was Robert Earl Linscott, who's Bobby Linscott. He's from Salisbury.
Okay.
It's a really good record. And there's a woman named, an artist named Louise Adams that I'm working on, and she's down in Plymouth. We've never been in the same room together. And last year I submitted an album by Christine Elise.
Oh,
sorry, Christine.
Oh, I know
I apologize.
Christine. Yeah.
Christine, yeah. So first time we were together.
I don't know her. I know I've seen her music.
I set her up with her own studio. So this is what I'm doing. I'm actually showing people how to build their own studios.
Yeah.
I'll be posting that pretty soon, designing it. I've got a team that goes in and does it.
I've been thinking about working from home. Maybe you should
I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll take good care of you. You don't have to go anywhere.
I know. There's some truth to that. There's going to be a whole lot of people not going back to the office in the
Well,
radio
the key, I'm an environmentalist, so the key to this is you're not burning any carbon in your car and waiting an hour and a half or commute.
Yeah.
It's totally efficient and it's environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
I do miss traveling and gigging, but I did buy my plug-in hybrid. So,
you did do it?
I did.
My wife's doing it too. She's been looking at it right now. You mentioned something there a second ago that I've always been curious about with you, because you do have all these different projects. You're always supporting all these different artists, producing these different things, building them studios, all these things. Do you ever have to stop yourself and say, I really do love making EJ music though too? Is there you almost have to check yourself, EJ, checking in on EJ a little bit?
Well, the truth is, anybody that I produce, it is EJ's music, because I put myself into it. So I can't disassociate myself from the work that I do. However, I am putting the brakes on. I have a pent-up waiting list for me to produce and teach, and I've got to put out another album. I've got to get that out because I believe in it. It's a good one. It's a regional roots album. And Monjo Hill will be on it. And I know what's happening. I'm starting to get texts. EJ, would you help me produce? Would you play my tracks? And I have to turn it. And I don't do it for free.
Yeah.
I'm kind of high priced. So when I've owned a studio for 47 years and I've only done 2 EJ albums. So it's time for me to invest in my own music for a
They're
while.
Both good ones, though. Very
Thank you.
Highly, and not just me who says that. There's a lot of good reviews on those 2 albums. Do you still get that? And obviously, pandemic, we haven't. Maybe you learned to miss it a little bit. Do you still get that juice when you get on stage, whether it be?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I played at Joy Nest last night, and Saturday night with another DJ, Carol Coronas up from UNH, and she's been a special guest in Crazy Maggie for our last shows or so, and she'll be playing with us. I miss performing. And the goal with my album, it's a nor'east dance fiddle-driven dance album, and depending on COVID, we plan on hitting all the dance halls up through Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, and up into Canada.
Sweet.
Yes, that's the plan. We'll see how COVID treats us.
Can't wait to get out and see you, because that is always a pleasure, my friend. As is this. I saw you're on playing a show with a friend, Mark Bishop Evans, who was just on here a couple weeks ago.
Yep, playing on the 15th at the Newburyport Tavern, and I guess the 18th I'm back with Peter Whitehead, my Crazy Maggie partner, a drummer and guitarist and singer, and we're going to be playing at the Joy Nest on the 18th. I think it was the 18th. It's the 18th. And I'm going to be working with Peter in the studio in January. We're doing a rock record with Ray Himmer Jr., who's the bassist on my album, and we're going to be doing a rock record.
Wow.
Yeah, so
exciting.
I was pretty psyched about that.
I know we both haven't seen. We talked a little bit about this before we got started, but we both have not seen the Beatles Get Back thing yet.
I'm going to go look tonight.
Are you going to go tonight? Yeah, you're going to go watch it tonight?
Yep.
I got to go see it. I'm always late to these things. Whenever everybody's talking about something, I see it a year later.
Every time I try to do something now, since we got nominated with Linda, this thing pings.
Yes.
It's like...
Yeah. I have 2 dogs that like to go to the beach this time of year.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
It's their favorite
Leave the
place.
phone.
Yeah, exactly. We got to take your dog pictures, too, so the phone tends to come. But yeah, no, this is my favorite beach season, actually.
Is it really?
Well, because I'm not a guy who likes to just lay out in the sun for hours, but I do like that the dogs can go run this time of year.
That's great.
So that's what we do.
Yeah, Lisa wants a dog.
Oh.
We've got 2 cats.
We're having that discussion, are we?
We're having that discussion. We'll see how this goes.
Well, yes. Some dogs are great with cats, others aren't. That's a good starting place.
Yeah. We might need a bigger house. We'll see.
Be surprised.
Yeah.
I always,
I do love dogs. I was the grandson of a animal control officer in Haverhill, Massachusetts. So I've been around animals all my life, all growing up and everything.
They're the best. It's they are. It's that unconditional love thing is true.
Yep.
And I can't imagine life without them, I guess. And I won't get into it, but we always do the shelter dog thing because
that's great.
That's just the way we do it, and the adopt don't shop thing. And I think it's just very rewarding bringing in dogs that have nowhere to go.
We got Banjo and Laylee from the rescue.
Oh yeah,
rescue.
The two cats.
Like 2 cats, yeah.
Banjo and Laylee.
2 black cats, and they are wild.
Yeah. Do they get going with the fiddle music?
They do, but they like pulling things apart.
Yeah. Too funny. Well, EJ, man, this is always a pleasure. I always have fun. Total pleasure with you, Drew. I appreciate it. Your support for the arts and artists is really commendable. We try. I just wish I could see more of you people in person. It's starting to happen a little bit. I mean, being cautious at the same time, I know, but it does seem things are starting to... I don't know. Thank you for having me. It'll be great when things get back to normal and we can all go see live artists without even thinking about... That's right. It'll be a little time, but, we have to just keep loving the music and for us to keep creating. Happy holidays. Congratulations on all the Grammy stuff. And you got that vote too, right? You get vote. Is it already done? Is the process already over? I opened up the ballot. We got them today. I opened it up Another today. Project for EJ. I have to vote, yes. So I pretty much knew who I want to go, support. So cool. It's a fun process, right? Thanks for having me. Absolutely, really appreciate it. I'll let you get on with the rest of your day. Go playing music. Go teaching people. I don't know, whatever else you're doing today. But I'm going to work on Richie Bostic's album today. There you go, Richie. So. You're up next, my friend. EJ Ouellette. Thank you, everybody. That's been another edition. Happy holidays to EJ. Happy holidays to all of you. We got a few more shows as we run up till Christmas, but it's nice to be back in studio here. Sarah Blackstone producing today. Caleb Noble in the house. Sarah Hayden. Tyler Neufeld, who I have not seen, but Tyler's always here. I think. He's probably here doing something. Thank you, everybody. Live at Drew's house. Joppa Afternoon Drive. Next time. Peace.